Okay, one last follow-up on the PTO shaft on this big baler. Okay, so here it is. I have had Timothy, yes, Timothy, and I believe he videotaped it and is going to put it up on his channel. Is that correct, Tim?
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
My computer is still not functioning right over the internet.
Okay, Tim. No, we just upped the speed, so it should go much faster.
You did?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so we swapped it from pointing that way to pointing that way, even though there is seemingly no difference in the shaft from one way to the other. I did receive an email from a fella, and he claims he works with John Deere or for John Deere, and they sold Krone and other things also for 10 years or whatever. And he claimed that they may be heat treated differently. Well, honestly, I don't see any difference right to left, left to right on that tube. This is the inside. I thought maybe the thickness of the tube, and yes, that is correct. The thickness of the tube here is thinner because it receives this tube, this shaft part. I thought they look like a cross. Actually, they look like a skull and crossbones if you really looked at it. But I don't know, he claimed that the heat treat process possibly could be different with that Bendoli shaft. So then the next question was, why was it in there backwards from the factory? Now, obviously this thing had failed once already, and so it fails. Big deal, you know, things fail, it happens. Doesn't mean the machine is junk by any means, it just means that it's a machine and they break. But being as it failed already, did they actually take the whole shaft out and replace, you know, to replace the one end or to work on the one end, or did they just pop one end off? We will never know. That is a fact. So Bendoli and Pavesi, see that symbol there, all right? They have provided a book with this machine, or with this drive shaft, which most times they do. And number 17, as you can read that, the tractor symbol and the shield indicates the tractor end of the driveline. Torque limiters or overrunning clutches must be mounted at the implement end. It does not give me a reason why, it just gives me the instructions. So obviously I had Timothy today go ahead and flip that power takeoff shaft around because I was mowing, getting ready for the next go round with baling hay. I'm going to throw that book in there. Yeah, so I don't know that it would make any difference whatsoever, but just for the sake of the directions, we did flip it. I don't know. I don't think it came from the factory that way. I think that was actually taken apart to be repaired, whether all apart to be repaired, whether Messick's did it or whether the guy that was demoing the baler did it. My thoughts are the guy that was demoing the baler did it, because I don't know. I just have those thoughts. It seems to me that if it was a demoed piece of equipment, that New Holland Krone would have just, or Messick's would have just insisted that the whole thing be replaced like they did for me, instead of putting inferior parts in there, ones that didn't even work properly. They were not Bendoli. So yeah, so that's it. I mean, we're back in business, running. No damage was done to the drive shaft that you could see. I mean, it came off and went on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's fine. This here does not
spin backwards.
No, the hydraulic starting unit does not reduce or increase the speed of that shaft that I know of, unless there's a planetary there that I don't know about. You know, I ought to look at that. I should go home and look in the parts manual for that thing to see if that is a planetary. If it's a planetary, but it doesn't make sense. It can't be a planetary. It's got a gear here that runs off that hydraulic unit. But I was told that this flywheel is ramped up in speed from 1,000 to, I believe, 1,300 RPMs, not 1,800 RPMs. Or maybe it is 1800 RPMs. I don't know. So I know it's a bastard and a half to get started without the hydraulics. But yeah, for the most part, there's overrunning clutch there. You know, shock clutch or whatnot on the end of the flywheel and everything. So it's all back together. It's greased and ready to go to the field. Timothy, did you finish up that?
Yeah.
With what you have, you just got to put that other hoop band on. Okay, so he's finishing that part up. What I'm probably going to do is, well, I'll tell you about that later. There's something cooking with messics in this baler, so, and it's all good. It's all good stuff. Don't knock the baler. And to those of you that are saying that I should have kept the New Holland because the Krone is as big a piece of shit as the New Holland, that is so far from the truth it's not even funny. Hey Tim, how many times have we been broke down this year?
2.
That's right, twice. No, yeah, twice. I could stretch it and say 3 times, but for the most part, only twice. The first time I had hit a rock and...
No, 3 times, because the pickup, the needles, and the shaft.
Okay, 3 times. 3 times. I did have, yeah, the needles. That was a board, unavoidable, by Krone and myself. It just happened. The rock that hit the pickup there, no big deal. Just bent a bunch of hoops. And, God, they're bent again.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Beats me.
I didn't hit anything.
I didn't run it. Maybe Cody did.
No, they look like they're bent up a little bit over there, but those are unavoidable. I mean, we're moving at such a high speed, and, you know, things come up on you quick. But so, everything that broke was really, with the exception of this shaft, but I think that shaft was destined to fail because of the cross that they put in there. Now, if they'd have put the proper cross in there, and the grease zerk was in the end like it was supposed to, I wouldn't have had the problems that I did have. But I'm going to dig it out here. This cross obviously wasn't the right one. I had to replace that grease zerk twice. Once I did it and once Cody did it. And it's still backed out of there. Now the original had the grease zerk in the cap. Right here. You can see it right there. The grease zerk is right there in the cap. So what I think is there's a harmonic or a vibration that goes through this shaft as it's spinning and getting hit by the plunger all the time. And it actually caused that thing to back out because it did it 3 times. It didn't do it once, didn't do it twice, it did it 3 times. The third time must have happened right away because this thing was greased, and then I went to the field and that was it. The end, Charlie. And I am really anal about grease and stuff. I repeat, I do not go to the field without running grease over this thing. Am I right, Timothy? Yeah, because I grease stuff. And there's my new grease gun right there. So anyway, that being said, I think that's the end of the dilemma here. I don't know that it would have made any difference, but because Bindoli said putting that to the tractor, I did reverse it. Maybe someone from Krone, Germany is watching and will email me at onelonelyfarmer@yahoo.com saying, hey, that was put on there like that from the factory for a reason, even though I don't believe it was. But the mystery will go unsolved. I know now that everything will be working properly because I put it together properly. Or Timothy did. He flipped it, not me. And check out his channel, Tim Pandy, on YouTube. And maybe he'll have that up there by tomorrow or the next day. Thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe.